working on electric water heaters, we're going to get the phone call, hey, no hot water. The reality, working on an electric heater like this one, and double element, double thermostat heater, is we only really have two types of parts. You have two elements, you have two thermostats. Pretty simple, straightforward process. Let's test the elements first and make sure that they're okay, or they may be bad. So first things first, turn off the power before we get into our service panel here. You'll notice that we've lifted up the insulation, the thermostat protector. A little tip there, put some tape up there. Be as hands-free as possible. And one thing that we do want to do, you have a wire going to two separate screws on the element itself. Phillips head screw. We're going to loosen those screws up so that we can pull the wire away from the element before we measure resistance. Okay, so with those loosened up, pull the wire loose. Remember, your power's off, so it's not a hazard to touch those wires. And what we're going to do is take our meter, set it to the resistance setting, ohms, it's the upside down horseshoe, and we're going to measure the resistance of that element. We're going to do that going screw to screw. Should give us a reading. 12.6 to 12.8 ohms is the appropriate reading, but that reading is going to be dependent on the wattage and the voltage of the element. 4,500 watts, 240 volts. If I do the math, that comes out to 12.6. So after I measure the resistance by 12.6, 12.8 type resistance, I'm going to take one test lead. I'm going to go from a screw to the element head itself. So the hex head itself, we're looking for that to be an open circuit. What we're testing for is that element grounded to itself? A shorted or grounded element is going to cause problems, heating all of the time, and create a bad situation. The other test we're going to do, same element, screw, and we're going to go to the actual tank body itself. We're testing now the element sheath to the tank body to see if it's grounded out. So there's actually three separate tests that we do on that element. Screw to screw, what I call screw to itself, the flange head of the element, and then screw to the tank body to make sure that we're not shorted out, which would cause an overheating in a bad situation, ultimately ending up with no hot water. Finish testing the upper element area. We're going to go down to the lower element and do the same test. Screw to screw, screw to the tank, screw to the element head itself. And what we're going to find is either our elements are good or our elements are bad. Bad elements, we change the elements. If the elements are good, by default, the thermostats will be our bad part. Now remember, our problem here is no hot water. We have 4 working parts. We can prove 2 are good. That means the other ones are bad by default.